mum to a child who is completely non-speaking with ASD level 3, and ever since I heard that devastating story of the parents who killed their 2 profoundly autistic teenage boys and then themselves after NDIS funding was cut, I have been consumed by it, and I can't not speak about it. Most people, when they hear this story, their immediate reaction is just like, how could you? And that reaction is valid because nothing can justify what happened. But before that judgment hardens into certainty, you need to remember that it is a privilege to not understand. People often describe what it's like to be a disability parent by referencing that poem about expecting to go to Paris and ending up in Holland, you know, the reframing of it's different but it's still beautiful. And that resonates with a lot of families, including mine. But that poem does not reach where some families live, because there is another destination that no one speaks of. It's a place that is relentless, violent, unbearably sad, and deeply lonely. It's loving your child more than anything and watching them trapped in distress that you cannot reach or fix or escape. It's 24 hours a day of vigilance, restraint, survival, and advocacy. It's watching them scream, sob, self-harm, or harm you. It's begging to be seen or heard only to be met with rejection. A place where the very system designed to support you doesn't. Where parents wake up already broken and keep going, not because they're strong, but because what other choice is there? My child is profoundly autistic, and he requires support in all areas of life, possibly forever. And we too have visited this place no one speaks of. For us, it was months of no relief. For other families, it's years or a lifetime. Imagine your child cannot speak, yet they are still the happiest kid you know. Now imagine even that disappears. No smiles, no laughter, just constant distress from morning to night with no end in sight. Where regulation only happens when you're driving for hours or your partner's walking kilometers on end, where you're pushed to breaking point and it feels like no one around you cares or understands. We've lived that reality, and yet I still consider my family very lucky, because the devastating truth is there are families and autistic children who have it far, far worse. There are children who pull their own teeth out while their parents are forced to listen to their screams, unable to help them. Children who punch their heads so violently they have to wear helmets, who smash themselves into walls, corners, anything sharp enough to try and cut through the noise inside their own bodies. Parents living in a constant state of fight or flight, loving their child so deeply while being physically afraid of them. Children who are deemed too dangerous even for schools or trained support workers. And still, these families are expected to cope and manage alone, in silence, while aging, while exhausted, while begging a system for help and being turned away, having to prove your child is still disabled, to justify your burnout, to advocate against people who have never lived a single day in your shoes. I know the fear of exhausted funding, the panic when support stops but your child's needs don't. No backup plan, no urgency, just wait until we get to your case, as if disability pauses until a file lands on someone's desk. So many families are living in that space right now. Families in genuine need are interrogated while others blatantly rort the system. Funding cuts land on autistic children rather than addressing misuse. Families don't need more hoops. They need accessible, stable support. And this is not about excusing what happened, because it is a tragedy. Those boys deserved safety and life. Their parents deserved support and respite before despair was all that they could see. This is about refusing to look away from the parts of autism that make people uncomfortable. It's about forcing the NDIS to recognize autism for the disability it is and the impact it has on the individuals and their families. Because pretending like this level of severity doesn't exist doesn't make it disappear. It only leaves the families alone in it. Be grateful you don't understand, but don't use that distance to judge. Use it to learn, to listen. Families should not have to break before help arrives.